tell me a little bit about what you've been doing with Land Rover BAR, because obviously you've been very intimately involved with them on clothing and equipment. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, our relationship with Ben goes back to the youth squad when he was in his teens, and we've been with him, supporting him ever since through all his Olympic campaigns, some of his big boat stuff as well. And when he set the team up, it was a natural conclusion for us to want to work with him, and he wanted us to work with him as well. So it took us into new areas, wetsuits for example, and we developed something called Ventaprene breathable wetsuits, which the team have been using, and also various other items of clothing. They've used some of our elite Gore-Tex clothing as well. But it presented a lot of new challenges. When we first met the team, it was unfortunately not long after Andrew Simpson's death, and there was a lot of focus on safety and all those elements, and it was really the first time I've personally been involved with equipping a team where safety was right at the top of the agenda. So we then brought in Spinlock to work with us and the team to develop the safety side of the products. I think the days of non-foiling boats, whether they be monohull or cats, are probably numbered in the America's Cup. I say probably because you never know in this day and age.
Well, we don't know about the America's Cup, but we do know that there's going to be more foiling, sailing. That's not going away. So can you foresee that people will wear different clothing? I see some teams are wearing more body armour and so on. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, when I first started racing, the times we would wear a life jacket or buoyancy aid were much fewer than now, whereas it's become a lot more normal. Helmets are becoming more normal, and also body armour. Actually, Land Rover BAR haven't used body armour, but I think it was Team New Zealand have used a certain element of body armour, and I think that naturally people are going to want to feel safe as they ramp up the speeds and they're sailing on the edge like these boats do.
I suppose it's a bit more like what we're seeing in skiing or snowboarding or mountain biking, isn't it, with that kind of development of equipment?
Yeah, and as everything develops, and the way people's attitude to safety is much more on the top of people's agendas now, whereas it was almost the macho thing before, not to work, oh no, it's fine, but people don't accept that anymore. Parents won't accept it for their children to go into a sport, and generally that will filter all the way through.
And what other areas in your business do you think that things might be changing in the next sort of period of time?
Oh wow, that's a very fantastic question. That is.
If you only knew the answer.
If I only knew the answer. It was just over 12 months ago. If you'd have asked me whether we'd vote for Brexit, I would have said no, definitely not. And would we then have another general election? And it's the political and economic background is so, I would say, complicated at the moment. It's really difficult to know, but as a company you just have to plough on. You have to make assumptions. We've had a massive reduction in the value of sterling, so a massive 15%, which has affected all businesses, and we just have to live with that and plan accordingly. It's a challenge. Every day is a challenge. You sort of wonder when we wake up what other strange thing is going to happen that will affect our business. But you know, we're independently owned. We like to develop our own clothing in the way that we want to do it. We've got great relationships with Ben and the team here, and we do other things as well. We're now working with Phil Sharp, and we have been for almost 2 years, and he's Open 40. And I know he wants to develop further and to do bigger and better things, and we'd like to be with him as well. So we've of course got the Clipper race coming up, which starts again in August, and we equip all the sailors on that, and that's a fantastic adventure. Half the people who go into it have never sailed before, which is great for the sport, and a significant number of them stay in sailing. So lots of exciting things to come in this summer.